It is time and effort, reiteration, engagements are held to ensure maximum inclusion for anyone in the Nigerian space, and even diaspora and abroad, can participate in the Nigerian capital market.
As part of its drive to increase the advocacy for financial education in Nigeria, Nairametrics recently hosted a 2-day investment and financial empowerment event designed to connect Nigerians with credible financial institutions, regulated investment products, and long-term wealth-building opportunities. It anchored conversations on wealth, investments, savings, and endowments, bringing together retail investors, young professionals, high-net-worth individuals, pension-focused audiences, regulators, and policy stakeholders directly with financial service providers.
A tall tower that continues to grow taller and taller is way riskier than a spread out warehouse. If you can just picture it, a tall tower, if you chip away at it, it can collapse on itself. But if you spread and broaden the base, you have more safety. We are building a safer market by broadening the market, by encouraging SMEs, by encouraging a broader range of investors as well. Remember, another factor was that you also had foreign coming in just to play in our market for the sake of it, and they can pull out whenever they wanted to. That was another risk factor that happened at that time. Right now, remember, if you think about it, what we're telling ourselves now is that retail investors are coming in. They're not flighty. They're in for the long haul. So we're actually building a more stable, self-sustaining market across the board by all the players, by investors, by issuers, by regulators. And regulators now actually work together a lot closer than in the past, where you might have some arbitrage going on between regulators.
You don't just put the money in your friend's hands. I would definitely suggest that you look at least simple investment agreements. There's so many businesses around now, very great ideas that people have. But what I find is a lot of them have taken money. When we talk to a lot of small businesses, SMEs, etc., their cap table, as in who's invested, who has money in this business, they're not very good at tracking it. So you yourself, I think it's a very good idea. Make sure you document, get an agreement put together, even if it's not on an exchange.
It is time and effort, reiteration, engagements are held to ensure maximum inclusion for anyone in the Nigerian space, and even diaspora and abroad, can participate in the Nigerian capital market. So when you say, oh, we talk about financial inclusion as the woman across, whereas it's the youth, it's everybody. It's including my senior sister, my father, who doesn't know about the capital market. There's no definition of who financial inclusion is for. It's for anybody who just doesn't know about this capital market and how to access it. Now, when you say engagements with you, stakeholders, to design for the youth, capital market products are standardized globally. I think what you mean is the delivery manner and the access, which we've spoken about. Digital access in Nigeria is at an all-time high. I'm so excited about it. And I can assure you, you've heard across the floor today, that we're all taking advantage of that because it's in a manner that helps to make that penetration to whoever it is that wants to access it. I'll end by saying that there is a world of information out there about these markets, curated for every level and class of investor. You only just have to look for it, be patient to look for it, read through it, understand it, and use it.
The convener of the event and founder of Nairametrics, Mr. Ugochukwu Obi Chukwu, shared the objective of the event and the importance of financial literacy for Africa's most populous country.
The objective, of course, is to continue to push what our motto has always been on Nairametrics, which is creating wealth through information. And we've been doing that for some years online, and we thought that now that you're seeing a rise in interest in investments in Nigeria, particularly from a lot of young people, retail investment, you're seeing that a lot of interest has been growing in the last few years. it is now important to turn this into a community. So we wanted a fair where people can come and meet the genuine, credible faces behind, behind the investment ecosystem. So, and of course, this is built around, 4 pillars: wealth, investment, savings, and endowment. Because at the end of the day, that is essentially why people, want to make money. And so we thought, why not bring in regulators, asset managers, people in the retail investment space, institutional investors, lawyers, people, that whole investment ecosystem, bring them into one environment, and then make this a fair. We've always heard about food and beverage festivals, tech festivals, but there's no investor festival. So that's what it's about. So especially now, you would agree that there are a lot of fake people out there who are trying to be investor educators. And while there are credible ones, but there are also a lot of ones that are not credible. And so the whole idea is to get everyone together and let's talk investments. And man, you can see a lot of networking has been happening. So people are now, have now realize that they have access to regulators, they have access to asset managers, and that's all. That's what this is all about.
How critical is financial education and investor education to economic growth and sustainability?
Oh my God, it is absolutely critical. You can never stop financial literacy. I'm even getting schooled here myself, despite my experience in investing. There's several things that I've heard today that I've never heard about before. So yes, investor education is very important, especially for a nascent economy like Nigeria, economy that is going through different reforms. There are a lot of things people don't understand. So people who don't understand, should I invest in banking? Should I invest in energy? Should I invest in telco? Or even if I'm going to invest in telco, how do I invest in this thing? What conduit do I use? Which are the apps I will use? And then do I need to have X amount of money? So these are all several phases of education that you have to go through. And that's part of what we're doing at Nairametrics. And that's what we're trying to do with this fair, create that platform for people to also be educated. As much as people want to invest, also be educated about where the investment opportunities are, and then how you can ultimately make your money work for you.
Industry leaders and analysts lauded Nairametrics' maiden money fair and harped on financial literacy advocacy and integration in Nigeria's education curriculum.
I would say well done to the Nairametrics team because this is a very, very, very important conversation to have at this time. In a time when a lot of people have lost money to bad investments or Ponzi schemes, as we will call them, having conferences like this that brings the practitioners and the users together and educates and also empowers people can take action right here. I think it's laudable. I think it's something that we should encourage and have more of.
The basis for any financial decision is really the literacy, the ability to understand what you're investing in. If you were in this market in 2007, 2008, remember a lot of people put their money into investments that they didn't really understand, and a lot of people got burned. But we want more people to invest, but we want them to invest right. We want them to be able to know the difference between, investments and Ponzi schemes. That's the basics, But at the end of the day, it's not also just about investment. It's just that basic management of your money. How do I save it? How do I ensure that inflation is not eroding the money I've been able to put away? And that's the whole idea of financial literacy. And I think without that, we can't really take it to the next level as concerns financial empowerment with Nigeria as a whole.
I think for me, seeing the level, the age bracket of those people that are here today, for me, that's my key takeaway. You see, all the while, what you see about the investment climate, you still see the older generation seems to be the one all still talking. Especially when you go to shareholder meeting, I was telling somebody, you always see the 70s, the 60s, the 50s, and you begin to ask them, where are the 20s, where are the 30s? And I know why they are not there is just because of lack of knowledge. Now that they are building their knowledge base, I'm very sure that a lot of them will now begin to see the importance of investments.
The Nairametrics Money Fair 1.0 is a welcome development for Nigeria's drive to achieving financial literacy. As the country seeks to scale its financial inclusion adoption level above 74%, the financial health of the citizens is critical. This is why the money fairs like the ones organized by Nairametrics will go a long way in accelerating financial literacy advocacy that policymakers, regulators, financial institutions, and stakeholders must collaborate to deepen in Nigeria.